Update time on the hydroponics. I've had a couple people ask some questions. Specifically, I think one person asked about the setup, and they weren't sure exactly what my setup was. I guess my video where I explained that, it's like over a year old. So let me show you how things are going and show you what the setup is and all that. Things are looking fantastic in here. So let's just go over what I have first. I've been showing you guys this all season since I planted. These are my garden salsa hot peppers. You can see that there's plenty of them. A bunch that could be harvested right now. But if you let them grow, pretty sure they'll turn red. And I don't need to harvest them right now, so I'm not going to. And then there's this, which I am starting to dub my habanero bush, because this is not a plant like I am used to seeing, but a bush instead. And it is loaded with habaneros. They are all through here. Hopefully you're able to see those okay. But that plant is just getting massive. Then I've got all these bell peppers. You can see something interesting. These are all the same age, and they're all producing really well. But see how this one right here in the middle is kind of dwarfed? Well, I had a plug in one of my water lines, so that one was getting starved. And even with being starved all that time, it's still producing some great peppers. That's a nice sized pepper right there. A couple more back there. And then these two that I've been doing, you know, they've been getting the proper amount of nutrients and water, are just great. I would think for like a home garden, that would be proper size right there. But I'm going to let them keep growing. I want them to be bigger. Got some big ones back here as well. So these peppers are doing great. Let's move on to these peppers. These are all habaneros as well. And they're stunted because I basically killed them. I planted these indoors from seed, and yeah, I've been on about that in my prior videos, but they're all budding. And there's like 4 or more of them in here. And they're kind of crowded, but I'm just going to let them grow. I actually don't even care if I get habaneros off those, because my habanero bush is going to produce so many that I only need so many to make chili and salsa and stuff. So you don't need a lot of habanero to go a long way. And also my jalapenos, they're starting to produce like crazy too. You can see this nice one here, a bunch of those in the back. And these have also been getting starved for water and nutrients. I've had some plugs in my line. And just recently I started using this Coca-Cola glass and just started dumping some in by hand. And it's really kind of helped out. It's kind of the lazy way rather than just fixing the plug. And over here I've got some more peppers. These I think are chocolate bell. We'll find out soon. They are starting to set some fruit. Kind of small to set fruit, but the nice thing about hydroponics is that you don't have to really worry about like letting things fruit too soon. Normally in a garden you might pinch off buds on like tomatoes and peppers and things until the plant is big enough to be able to withstand producing fruit without stunting growth. But because I am feeding these things everything they need directly to their roots, they can just keep growing and growing and growing, even if they've already got big fruit on them. So it's kind of one of the benefits. And then I've got my cantaloupe. And you can see I've got a bunch of them. I've never grown cantaloupe before, so I don't know how to know when it's done. They're not real big, and they're just hanging. I'm surprised it hasn't dropped off. But I noticed that like the skin gets kind of rough, and I think that might be an indication that it's done, while this one is still smooth. But I don't know. If somebody knows, go ahead and chime in and let me know. Got more in here. Got tons of them, really. They're just everywhere. This one's getting pretty big here. And then I've got down here, all my vines are kind of coming down and around. So I'm guessing towards the end of the summer, I'll probably be finding cantaloupe in places I didn't know I had it. So on to how this system works. So it starts here. I've got this water reservoir with a pump, and I mix nutrients into that reservoir, and I use this General Hydroponics. Oop, dropped it. General Hydroponics. It's a powder, and it's really, really simple to mix. So I use this until everything starts to kind of get to the size where I'm ready for it to start fruiting. Then I switch to the Maxi Bloom, and that's when I want it to start producing fruit. That's why I switch to that. I don't really pay too much attention about all the different makeups of all the different fertilizers. Like you can see, this one's a 5, 15, 14, while this one is a 10, 5, 14. And on the back, it'll give you like a detailed analysis of like one's got more nitrogen than the other and things like that. I don't really care. I just mix it in and it works. So it's not something I'm really a fanatic about, trying to like figure out exactly how many parts per million is in my water and all that. My water is just well water, and it's not tested for pH and nothing like that. So anyways, let's get back to what I was showing you. So reservoir, black tubing, gets pumped over to a couple of these different manifolds like this, and then I have all these black lines coming out of it. Those black lines come up in the top of these buckets, and they feed the nutrient solution into these. And this is just perlite, nothing special, just regular perlite. A little bit of algae growth, not a big deal. And then on these buckets, I've got a drain, and it's about an inch or so from the bottom. So there's always going to be nutrients in here that when the roots get really long, they'll always have something in here even when it's already drained. And so that water runs back through these tubes, through this conduit here, or PVC, around, and right back to the reservoir. So this is what you call a closed system, hydroponics. So any water that the roots are not drawing up, or the plants are not using, goes right back into the reservoir. And then I have a timer, and every so often that comes on, like I think I have it like 3 times a day for 10 minutes a day or so, and it just waters them automatically. Aside from about once a week, I add nutrients and water, and that's all I have to do, nothing else, and they just grow like mad. So anyways, I hope that helped answer some of your questions if you had any, and I hope you enjoy this. It's really exciting to me to see all these, fresh fruit, like cantaloupe, call that a fruit, I guess, and peppers. But normally I used to do all kinds of stuff, but with my microgreens and everything, I've only got so much free time, and so this is kind of what I'm doing. Peppers are really easy. You don't have to do anything with them. You just kind of set them and forget them. Add nutrients and water now and then, and that's it. Tomatoes were a little bit more work. They grow kind of tall and leggy, and you have to like string them up and prune them and everything, and I didn't do them this year, but I'll do them again. So with that, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell if you want notifications anytime I make a video, and keep watching.